Hi, and thanks for joining us. Great to have your company on Kalkine TV. I'm Holly, and you're watching the mid-market pulse. Looking at the market now, and the ASX 200 gained momentum after a flat opening and was trading 0.29% higher, while the All Ordinaries Index was up a bit higher at 0.44%. Both indices notched up by lunchtime after a muted opening. The AVIX was trading 2.8% down to 12.24, and the index's tech stocks continue to rally since the early trades this morning, following an upbeat session on Wall Street over the weekend. Global equity markets ended higher on Friday, with European shares surging to record highs on better than expected earnings, while the US dollar eased but recorded its biggest weekly gain since late August of 2021. The strong session on the ASX has followed strong closings on Wall Street on Friday as investors looked past disappointing US inflation data. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was up 0.5%, while the S&P 500 gained 0.72%. The Nasdaq Composite ended the session 1% up as well. Then on the sectoral front, the market has been extremely bullish for the day, with 10 of 11 sectors trading higher. Consumer discretionary is the leading of the pack with a 1% gain, followed by a 0.98% uptick in the healthcare sector. IT is also supporting the index with its 0.61% gain, while energy producers and miners are also participating in the rally with a 0.34% and 0.51% gain, respectively. Then on the flip side, financials are going against the grain, losing 0.31% for the day so far. Coming on to the top gainers now supporting the ASX 200, while Incitec Pivot climbed 5.1% to $3.28 after reporting a sizable increase of 91% in net profit after tax in the financial year 21. And Mesoblast gained as well 5% to $1.77, followed by a 4.9% gain in nickel mines. Then on the losing front, NAB fell 2.18% to $29.22, I should say, as the shares traded ex-dividend today. Then Platinum Asset Management was the top second loser, falling 1.35% to $2.93 Australian cents. Moving on to the newsmakers by the mid-session, while Sydney Airport's $200 million of secured debt maturing on Friday is unlikely to be refinanced, given the prospects of privatisation, according to CBA in a morning note. Meanwhile, Melbourne Airport is said to be discussing a potential 10-year benchmark bond issue. Sydney's board last week recommended investors accept a cash offer of $8.75 per share from a consortium of big superannuation and investment funds led by IFM investors, with a vote on the proposal to be held in early 2022. And moving on, Woodside Petroleum has entered into an agreement to sell its 49% non-operating participating stake in the Pluto Train 2 joint venture. It'll be selling its stake to the Global Infrastructure Partners, and Pluto Train 2 is a key component of the Scarborough development that includes the construction of a new LNG train and domestic gas facilities. Now, before we take a look at some more stocks, it's time now for a short break.
Hi there, James Preston for Kalkine TV. Are you into gaming and virtual reality? Does AI and the endless possibilities it entails capture your interest? Or are you constantly trawling through the web to try and discover the latest updates and innovations in the tech space? Well, let us do the work for you. From the latest product launches to shocking affairs on the World Wide Web, exclusive interviews and information about the top companies like Apple and Google to brand new tech startups vying for your attention. Kalkine's Tech Beat has the latest in what matters in the world of technology. Join me every single Thursday on the Tech Beat, exclusive to Kalkine TV.
Welcome back. Holly Shields here reporting to you live from Kalkine Studios in Sydney, and you're watching the Mid-Market Pulse. Let's move on to stocks that created a buzz on the ASX today, starting with agriculture business Elders, whose underlying net profit after tax rose 40% over the last year. The company's EBITDA jumped 30% in the same period, and its management is confident that high demand for agricultural commodities will support the business in the first half of 2022. Meanwhile, shares of Mesoblast have leapt in the morning trades after the company announced the results from a Phase 3 trial of its medicinal candidate in treating chronic heart failure. The randomized controlled trial results highlighted reductions in cardiovascular mortality, heart attacks and strokes, with the greatest effect seen in the setting of inflammation. Mesoblast's share price was up 5.6% to $1.79 in the morning trade. And next up, NRW Holdings subsidiary Golding Contractors has extended the current contract mining agreement with Aberdare Collieries beyond June 20 of 2022. The tenure has been extended till the 30th of June 2026, and the contract value for the first 4 years of the extension stands at about $150 million. And moving on to 360 Capital Group, who have announced to sell their entire 39.1% co-investment interest and 50% of the management rights in Fibercon X to the 360 Capital Fibercon X Trust. The group will also fetch around $26.7 million from the proceeds, and they're targeting the completion of this before the end of the year. Meanwhile, CIMIC Group is set to receive cash proceeds of around $30 million after costs and a statutory pre-tax gain of around $60 million from Venture Services' initial public offering. CIMIC confirmed that the IPO will proceed at a final offer price of $1.70 per share, valuing Venture at $41.45 billion. The IPO offer size will be $438 million, with the proceeds used to optimize Venture's capital structure and reduce its debt as well. Upon completion of the IPO, CIMIC will retain a 32.8% stake in Venture, which is subject to a voluntary escrow period. And next up, Link Administration. Their board agreed to provide the US private equity giant Carlyle Group with due diligence information. According to management, it was necessary so that Carlyle can develop a revised takeover proposal. The information will be provided subject to the extension of confidentiality agreements between both parties. And that is a wrap for now on the show, but keep watching Kalkine TV for more trending market updates from Australia and around the world. Holly Shields signing off.